Good morning. Welcome to Substitute Tuesday. I'm Dorothy Lee, Family and Consumer Science Agent, University of Florida Extension Service. And today we're going to talk a little bit about pumpkin. It's fall, it's pumpkin season, and it's time to think about using pumpkin in some of those wonderful desserts that we associate with Thanksgiving and Christmas. And there are different types of pumpkins. I know during the October, we're concerned about the types of pumpkin to use for jack-o'-lanterns, and a lot of times jack-o'-lanterns are carved and we leave them out front on our porch for a couple of weeks and so forth, and those jack-o'-lanterns probably would be best if we dispose of them. But there are certain types of pumpkins that are very prevalent during the fall season that we can also carve and cut to use for some of our pies. So today I have a couple of examples with me that I wanted to share with you. And the pumpkin on the left is one of those pumpkins that can be carved and can be cut. It's a regular type pumpkin. The smaller pumpkin on the right is called a sugar pumpkin. And one of the things about a sugar pumpkin is it also carries the name of pie pumpkin. It's the type of pumpkin that we use for pies when we're making pumpkin pie or pumpkin bread or pumpkin muffins using a fresh pumpkin. This time of year, pumpkins are very inexpensive, so oftentimes it is a good idea to go ahead and process a couple of the pie pumpkins, and you can freeze a puree in your deep freeze and use it next year or use it all throughout the year. It'll last quite a long time. So one of the things we're going to do first is we're going to carve our pumpkin and get it ready for the oven. The pumpkin also has something very special inside that we can also use, and that's the pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds can be roasted. They can be roasted in the oven, roasted in the microwave, seasoned to be sweet or savory, and that type of thing. So we're going to take our pumpkin and go ahead and slice it and scoop out the inside, and then we're going to prepare it for our oven. The pumpkin's been washed in just some cool tap water, and used a vegetable brush to kind of brush off any type of soil that might be on the outside of our pumpkin. No need to use soapy water on fresh vegetables. Just a little bit of cool water and a vegetable brush will take care of that. So the pumpkin has been quartered, and I'm ready now to scrape out the inside. So I have one of the quarters here to demonstrate for you. Of course, you can see the seeds and those wonderful seeds that can be baked also, and some of the membrane, and we're just going to scoop it and put it in our bowl. We're going to wash our seeds later and put those in the microwave and toast them. So once we get our pumpkin, I'm just using a regular spoon to scrape with. It's really easy because it has a curved edge and it kind of gets down into the pumpkin and so forth. Okay, so now that the pumpkin has been scooped and all the seeds are out, I'm going to walk over here and share with you how we're going to bake our pumpkin. We're going to use an oven method. We could also cook in the microwave. We could boil it, but I prefer the oven method. So I have a baking sheet, and I've put about a half a cup of water in the bottom of the baking sheet so that it will produce some steam. And as you can see, I have cut our pumpkin quarter into pieces, and I'm going to pop it in a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes or so. It depends on the size of the pumpkin and so forth, the texture of the pumpkin, as to how long it needs to bake. So let's pop it in our oven. Okay. And we're going to let that bake until it's tender. And then once it's the pumpkin is tender, we'll peel it. Now, if you prefer, you can peel the pumpkin quarters before you bake it if you like. I don't like that myself because what happens, I think it gets kind of mushy, so I prefer going ahead and baking it before peeling, and the peeling will just come right off once it's baked. Then take the pumpkin itself, the meat of the pumpkin, and we'll kind of chop it up into small pieces, put it in a blender and blend it, and then we'll be ready to pour it into a sieve and kind of strain it, because as you can see here with this raw pumpkin, it has a lot of different membranes, and so therefore once it's baked, it's still going to have a little bit of that, and we are looking for the very, very liquid portion of the puree. So that's our steps in preparing a fresh pumpkin to prepare maybe pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins, and so forth. So a little bit of tips on what to purchase in the market. In purchasing a pumpkin, you want to make sure that you get a solid pumpkin. Make sure what size to purchase would be based on how much you want to use. How many dishes are you going to prepare? If you're going to put it in your freezer and freeze it, it'll keep a good 6 months in your freezer. If you're going to just cook it, put it in your refrigerator, it'll keep a lot less time. So usually I like about a 5-pound pumpkin for this, for freezing. If I'm going to do just a couple of pies, then of course the pie pumpkins are a little bit smaller also. So I usually buy about a 2 or 3 pound pumpkin. So this time of year, it's pumpkin time. So we have lots and lots of pumpkins to choose from and wonderful, wonderful dishes to prepare for the holiday season. Thank you for joining us for Substitute Tuesday. And for more information, contact the University of Florida, Escambia County Extension Service.